Hey guys, Chris here in the 2017 Chevy Bolt. So, last night I made a video.
Turn left onto Fremby's Road.
Last night I made a video and I just picked up the car and I was basically just flooring it everywhere and kind of pushing the limits, getting an idea for the maximum performance of the new Bolt. I kind of was curious, and the first thing you do when you get into an electric car is just floor it everywhere because it's fun and it's fast and it's new and exciting. But once your range dips below 100 miles, you start to get a little bit of range anxiety and you become a little bit more, actually a lot more conservative with your throttle inputs. So I've been driving this for about 20 miles now. I'm on my way up to Waterford to sell one of my cameras, and I've been driving this normally, how you would probably drive this Bolt in a normal situation on an everyday basis, keeping in mind the range and also just kind of normal driving scenarios. So what I did was, on my way out to Waterford, I have picked out the shortest route by distance, and coincidentally that's also the route that has the least amount of highway driving. Highway driving really sucks up a lot of battery power, and my range is, for as long as I was on the highway on my way out here, my range was just dropping like a stone. I probably went from 120 mile range to 112 in about 6 miles. So it was almost dropping double my mileage. And that was at 70 miles an hour. You slow down to 60 or 65 and that improves drastically. So another thing I've noticed in comparison to that is that I've been driving on a lot of back roads, or at least just side streets where the speed limit is anywhere between 35 to 45 miles per hour. Oops. And I guess we're going here. As you can see, we're taking some really back ways. So anyway, between 30 and 45 miles per hour, I've driven probably about 10 miles, and my range has only dropped 1 mile. It's gone from 100 to 99. And so you really, if you're driving in the city a lot, if you're going at lower speeds, your range is going to be pretty significant in this car. So just a neat observation. Another note, so check it out, it's at 99 right now. If I turn on the heat at full blast, it immediately drops down 6 miles. So it just went down to 94. Alright, horn sounds good too. Now if I turn the heat off, we're back up to 98. So the heating and AC system drain a lot of power. However, I have been getting by pretty well with just turning on the seat warmers and the heated steering wheel. And that doesn't seem to drain as much power, but it kind of still keeps your body and your hands warm, though it doesn't do anything for your feet. Strategy, I guess. But now that I've spent some more time in this car, I'm finding it actually really enjoyable to drive. It's a little bit stiff, and I think that's just kind of inherent of, this is a short wheelbase vehicle that is very heavy, so it has to be stiffly sprung. A lot of the weight is low down, there's a low center of gravity, which gives it nice handling characteristics. It does have a decent amount of grip, and it is fun to drive. The steering wheel isn't my favorite. It's a little bit thick for my taste, but it's just kind of standard for GM steering wheel designs these days. I would like a little bit thinner of a rim to hold on to, but that's just my personal preference. I'm sure other people will feel a different way. So I don't necessarily miss not having a GPS. I always use Waze anyway. There's plenty of places to put your phone in this car. Sometimes it is nice being able to see the roads that are coming up, but really in this instance, it's not something that I'm missing at all. Can't really comment too much on the sound system. Haven't really listened to a whole lot of music. But, I would say the real high points of this car is, first of all, you get into it and it feels special. This is kind of a unique, it looks unique, it kind of feels unique. You're driving down the road silently. You have all these electric car noises that are faintly off, subtly in the distance that you can hear. And I like the interior design. I like the use of materials. The leather's nice on the steering wheel. And everything in here is just kind of light and airy. And it just kind of makes you sit down and you go, this is nice. Except for when it's cold out, in which case you're freezing because you don't want to turn the heater on. But when it's not freezing out, this would be a very nice car to drive. Visibility from the side and forward is fantastic. Rearward visibility isn't awesome. It's not great. You can see in the mirror that, you can't really see a whole lot back there. You could flip down the headrests in the back seat and probably get a little bit better visibility. And there is a pretty significant blind spot on the C-pillar back there where you can see. But otherwise, really awesome visibility up front. That's one big high point of this car. And I think it kind of looks cool, especially in this, what is this, kind of orangish gold paint. You've got this neat little exterior color accent on the inside of the door frame here, and it feels special to drive. I would say this is one of the faster, if not the fastest, electric car that I've driven that isn't a Tesla. It's pretty darn quick. The Fiat 500e is pretty quick as well. Probably because it weighs a little bit, because it weighs a little bit less than this, but this is pretty darn quick. You can kind of initiate wheel spin upon will, and if you need to get out of a sticky situation or kind of zip through traffic or beat someone off the line, this does it and has more than enough power. A couple other features that I've noticed that I really like. So there's a paddle. Last night I mentioned that there's this paddle behind the steering wheel, kind of like a paddle shifter, but it's just a paddle that you pull. And when you pull it, it slows down the car using 100% regenerative braking. You can pull that paddle and it'll actually take you to a complete stop. And if you get your timing right, it'll do it just in time. So let's show you an example right here. This should be a complete stop. I'm pulling the paddle now. Car's slowing down, I'm not touching anything on the pedals. We've come to a complete stop, and I can let off the paddle, and the car will just stay there. I'm not holding the brake, I'm not doing anything, I'm just sitting here. So you can kind of chill and just not have to worry about putting your feet on the pedals by braking with this paddle, and that's kind of nice. It's, in some cases, it's almost like a manual car where you'd come to a stop, put it in neutral, take all your feet off the pedals. Makes for a little bit more relaxing and enjoyable city driving experience. Thoughtful stuff by GM. I appreciate that. Last night, I thought this had radar-guided cruise control. I'm not 100% sure if it does. I tried it earlier today, and it seems like it has collision alert, and you can control the distance of the collision alert. But I'm not actually sure if it has radar-guided cruise control. I don't think it does, actually. So it's getting a little foggy in here. I'm gonna have to turn up the heat. Oh, and I guess we're going right here. All right. Sorry. I'm trying not to miss my destination. But overall, not bad. I can't quite remember what I started off with my range. I believe it was around 116 miles, 120 miles of range when I left, and this was about a 25-mile trip. So my range only really dropped about maybe it did go down about 25 miles. So it's pretty accurate. I mean, with the blend of of city driving and highway, it's done a pretty good job. Lots of a lot of grip here from this bolt. This would be a fun autocross car. All right, now that everything's moved to that side of the car, I guess I can kind of settle down here a little bit. All right, so I've arrived at my destination. I'll wrap this video up, but I just kind of wanted to give some further insights into what I thought about the new Chevy Bolt, because I've been looking forward to driving this car for quite a while, and I only have a day in it, so I figured I'd make the most out of that time. Thanks for watching, guys. Again, let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Talk to you later.